Good evening and welcome back to Ravenport, where you find us at the shop getting more lime, which, as we have found, is something you get through rather quickly. We do have that second bag of lime back there, but we're not going to try and tackle that just now. We've actually sent the Huerlimann up here with this attachment on the rear, the Peecon PD 1500, which you can, that's where it kind of sits naturally. You lower it right down. If you put this on the front of the tractor, it won't go as low to the ground as you kind of need it to. Then you can tilt it backwards and forwards. This is with left bumper pressed, right stick left and right, and then right stick up and down raises it and lowers it. I guess maybe that's what the modification you can make on purchase might be, to kind of turn the mounting bracket round so you can put it on the front loader and use it. What I do know is that you absolutely do need the front weight to do this, because again the lime is just so heavy. So we're going to head up to field 15. The fence is on field 18, finishing the planting there. The harvester is up here already. It's made a start. Oh my crikey, very grubby. I did promise a jet wash. What I'm thinking though, guys, is we're within $10,000 pretty much of buying field 14 already. So maybe spending half that amount, nearly $5,000 on a jet wash, and holding back the income from that field for a day isn't the wisest of moves. Although then I've also considered the option that field 16 is only, oh crikey, okay, a little bit more care is required. Field 16, let's put the mini map on, is I think it's nearly, or maybe is twice the size of field 14, but only an extra $25,000. So should we even hold out another day or two, or make an extra push to get some cash and get the bigger field, which obviously is going to be a wiser investment. But for now, we're just sorting out these logistical issues. Lime only has to be done every 3 days, and I'm quite pleased about that. Ploughing only has to be done, remember now, after you've planted certain crops, which includes corn, which we're obviously using quite a lot. And soy. I think basically anything that you use this planter we've got to plant, you're going to need to plough afterwards. I don't think there is any real need, that's a seed pallet that we left here yesterday, any need for us to worry about planting a cereal crop at all. We can get enough from doing missions. That saves us the expense of buying a second seeder, which is very handy, because if anything, seeder wise, I'm thinking more of upgrading the seeder that we've got. So that might be what we do. Right, we're here now. Let's go and have a look at what's going on over here in the harvester. The train is a regular friend. I actually quite like working here because the train is like your friend. But if we do actually get to see it spawn in, it kind of comes out of an invisible tunnel and then disappears back into one. Now, our friend here, the harvester, the New Holland, is doing us very well, but maintenance is required. You see, once we get the header going now, we're going to be lucky to get 3 miles an hour. So we can do this on the fly. If I press the right buttons, into the garage, there he is. Left stick, repair, $568, yes. He is repaired. Is instantly going at a more appropriate speed. Now these fields here, with these are very strangely angled fields in relation to how the workers want to work them. It doesn't fit either of their north, south, east, west, or the sort of southeast, northwest patterns of diagonal patterns. It's kind of right in between. So I've just been doing these corners manually, one way or the other. And then I think we've got to pretty much the right point now So once we turn around, I'll leave the worker to do it. They do manage fine with these slanted sides. Depending on the width of the equipment you use, in the other side of the field can mean you need to turn them around once or twice yourself, because they'll end up basically without the piece of machinery detecting the crop because it's a little bit too far away behind the machine. But apart from that, no, these have been very easy. I've only done them once, but the staff certainly had no major issues. So off you go. So we've got the trailer up here. I've lent the plough up against it deliberately because this thing just falls over and it can be quite a pain to get back up. I have got kind of a flippy technique. We've got seed, we've got lime. We're going to take the Huerlimann and these pieces of equipment back to the farmyard, switch them over for what we need for the field ops. Now the logistics are covered, and we'll meet you back. So here we are getting back to the farm of our lovely new entranceway, which, as I say, is nice and smooth. Terraforming leaves a bit of a stepped effect, at least the way I've done it so far. While we're here and we've got this implement on, we're going to grab this here pallet of seed. May not be pretty, but it works. There you go. And we're going to bring this over to field 18 where the fert has been seeding. He's run out of everything. I was toying with the idea of upgrading our seeder, as I mentioned. Now, literally because $2,000 made a difference when I was setting this playthrough up, I couldn't get, let's have a look in the shop, I couldn't get this one, which is 4.5 meters versus 3 and still fertilizes. So that's 50% more width, which is 50% less wage costs to be using it. And it is this guy, certainly because he's doing odd jobs, that is kind of lagging behind a bit. He's a field behind already, as you can see. But our one is worth 16,000. I'm not sure how much extra we'd get for taking it back to the shop, as I haven't done that yet. But the upgrade's still going to cost us maybe $9,000, which again, I'm not going to do today now. We're going to struggle on with the Amazone seeder we got right here, and its slightly cranky capacities. Not that the other one is much different ratio wise. I think it just holds a bit more of each, so there's a little bit less refilling involved. Right, we can nip around here and refill with seed from the pallet, but as mentioned earlier, to put the fertilizer in, which is what we've actually run out of, we're going to need to hoist the bag over in the old-fashioned manual method. I've not left these laid out in the most convenient way, have I? No. Come on. Go on, you know you want to. Perfect, like a pro. Having realised that was a bag of lime down by the field, of course it was, I put it there. I've come up here to get this bag of fertiliser. Is he on safely? No, that was my fault. Oh, look at that, he even stands himself back up now. And that was the real killer with the bags in 17, wasn't it? If they fell over, getting them up was a real chore. Right, let's test this with no back weight down our newly constructed trackway. Oh, lovely, lovely. I think I will have to give a moment's thought to the logistics. I'm sure once we've got our next field purchase out the way. Right, you really should empty now though. Are you emptying? No. Why won't this empty into here? No, don't do that. Alright, you're not gonna... You're not gonna empty, or I should say refill. The cover is open. You can see it right there at the back. So you should be able to hold that bag over there and top it up. What is going on? Very slippery. Ease up. Nearly on. Is it being ever so sensitive to which way round I pick it up, or is it just... There we go. Okay. It's better fill it up now. Right, the best grip possible. Please fill up this thing with fertilizer. Why won't you do it? Put you right over the hatch. Yes, it's got to be right over that hatch. In the last version of the game, you literally just dangled it over the cedar. In general, right. That about right, or is that too high? There you go. Wow, what a palaver. Sorry about that. There you go. Probably didn't really need to fill that up with fertilizer, but not to worry. And we're replanting corn in the two fields down here. Where were we? And we'll replant, I think, soy again. We could vary it a little bit, but that's a big field up there, field 15. And the lower the yield, the better. Right, off you go. Now, I was shoving off about how well the workers did on these fields, and this guy has gone kind of doolally. I've no idea what his intention is here. No. I'm not sure why. He's gone all the way to the end of that row and then backed up to turn round and start going back down here. Very strange. But we've almost finished the curved area. I do need to tidy up that end of the field. That's for sure. Well, I'm pleased to report the Huerlimanns had no trouble getting these two up here. We're going to stop here. These pallets really are a little bit in the way. That needs a good nudge out the way anyway. I'm just going to check in the shop. 15 meters and 18 meters. Let's just see for a laugh which one's selected. Right. Go, start fertilizing, and then change, and then start spreading lime. And then can we get the worker to do that? There you go. So we're going to end up with a little bit of overspray potentially, but it is being done. Is that what the map suggests? There you go. Lovely dark blue stripe across there. Well, that's quite handy to know. That could save a little bit of time. And he's turned the right way. Fantastic. Probably not being as economical as possible with the product. Going to be is he going to make it back up there? I don't think he will. Oh no, we're wasting quite a bit now, aren't we? Right, he's never gonna. He's crashed. There's still a worker in there. Oh, maybe the train freaks him out. Right. Oh my word! Look, we've used almost 1,000 lime already. We're going to drop the lime, fertilise this bit ourselves. That'll do very nicely. So yeah, there's an option there of doing it like that simultaneously, but you really do want to match, if possible, the width of the spreaders and have a lot of lime handy. Now we've selected the lime spreader, so what we're going to do now, just to save some, a bit of the back and forth just to get this finished. That'll do me. Right, you can start ploughing. So I'm going to leave these spreaders down here, which should then, if I do get completely distracted, stop the plough going into the unprepared land. And the trailer's going to need to be used soon for picking up some crop, I'm sure, so it's about time we stopped using it as a plough support. And again, exactly the same thing. I'm going to go up to this corner, just do a little bit myself, just to get things started. And once there's a little bit of a run to be done, we shall hand over to the worker. Okay, has anyone got a clue what this here worker is doing? Is this one of those situations where I need to reload the game because something's gone absolutely wrong? Is this some part of an industrial action? He has literally gone all the way to the end of this field and backed up all the way to here, and now appears to be driving around and around in circles. Really? Time for a bit of a toolbox talk. Very odd. The harvester seems to have settled down, and the plough hasn't done anything odd yet. But I'm not putting anything. Maybe it's all the effect of that tree. I've unleashed something. Alright, let's unhire you. Where's our little Huerlimann? Perfect timing, Mr. Huerlimann. Right, we're going to put this down ever so carefully. No. There's, ooh, little nudge. Now that plough, if it falls over with the connector sort of uppermost, you can kind of get it to reconnect to the tractor and that'll sort it out. If it falls over the other way, you've got to kind of get the front wheels of the tractor on, and kind of like you would if you stood on a rake, and try to get it back up to an angle it will stay at. It's a pain. Or you can get the front loader, as you've seen me do. Be very careful with those subsoilers, they can be quite annoying. Right, leave that there. Get on with the show. I'm trying to keep the camera kind of that way as much as possible, in the hope that a train is going to spawn while we're up here, just so you can see what we get. I do like it. There's very little traffic on the map. I'm almost taking my time now, come on. They're quite regular. Oh, there's a traffic. Oh, look, there you go. Missed the very front of it, but you see it kind of spawns out of an invisible tunnel. Let's just get Mr. Ploughman started and we can watch the train go through. And then, in a kind of Back to the Future style without the flash and the DeLorean, it gets through to that corner. And yeah, he's off into that hillside. Fantastic. And they run on time. Okay, we're just coming over to the ranch just to sell the soybeans. We should make about $10,000, I think. The price has dropped a little bit since this morning. It's about, well, let's have a look, $9.47. It was just over 1,000. So we could have got about $500 or $600 more, but not to worry. And there you go, just under the 10,000 mark. And we're within $5,000, $4,500 of buying field 14, or do we hold off and buy field 15? We need to get this Huerlimann back to the field so we can finish ploughing, and then we'll think about doing a job to offset today's wage costs, which I think in total will be about $8,500, I think. We're just going to skip up this way. Some very big fields to be worked here. Now when it comes to looking for jobs, what I have found in my messing about is that when you do these spraying jobs, you have to allow, and fertilizing jobs, although it seems to be to a bit of a lesser extent, you have to allow for the amount of money you're going to have to spend on the product. I did a job, well, the income would have been about $10,000, but it cost me about $4,500 in the fertilizer. So I think I really do like to stick to the good old-fashioned harvesting jobs. You know exactly where you are with those. Ploughing jobs I'm obviously a little bit reluctant to commit to, but let's have a look at what we've got in the contracts and we'll pick one to do. Field 11 actually I've already kind of lined up, look, with the deduction for the equipment it's going to be just over $10,000. We get to use a lovely big harvester and we get to use a lovely big truck and trailer. So we're going to borrow items, field 11, and do that job. And leave these guys to it. So look at this monster. And as I've said before, I'm sure certainly gives us access to some equipment we would not be able to touch otherwise. So what do we need to do? Let's get this header trailer. It's one of those headers that kind of has the trailer function built into it. You have to fold that away before you can use it. These also are quite quick, so getting across the map isn't an issue. In fact, this is surprisingly nippy. And we are heading for field 11, just past where we're working. So I'll get this underway and we shall see how we progress. So we just have a quick check-in on the guys. They're alright to keep going for a while. The truck is right there for when we need him. Right, we need to open the harvester, start the engine. Then we need to unfold the header, which will Put the wheels away. Start the harvester. And we shall start harvesting. There we are. Quite a big field, but this is very big harvester. It's 4 minutes to 7. See how long this takes us to make $10,000. Certainly a very nice piece of kit, this. Tearing its way along the field. Lots of displays, lots of equipment, and I'm sure a very good entertainment system. Okay guys, apologies, when I pressed the hotkey to stop recording the bit when I finished the mission, I actually started this recording, but as you can see the shed looks lovely when it's lit up. We put up a floodlight, so if we do need to work into the evening, into the darkness, we are much more safe when we do so. Do watch the shadow, it does disappear at a certain angle. Anyway, we got the money for the mission. It took about an hour and 10 minutes to make just over $10,000, which was absolutely lovely. The truck was very nice too. I'm going to start taking on the missions a little bit earlier in the day, as I can just go back and forth, so I don't have to rush and do it in the dark. Well, here we are. It's the morning after the night before, and basically I'm going to do today off camera. It's going to be exactly the same as yesterday. We're just going to give the pigs their morning tidy up over here. Tomorrow we're going to have pigs to sell. I am going to hold out and get field 15 for $137,000. Don't be freaked out by the apparent lack of money in the wallet. I temporarily have paid 100 grand off the loan. That saved us about $850 in interest overnight, so why not, eh? So let's just get this tidied up. We'll have a little look at the numbers, because I do know some of you like the numbers as much as I do. Right, pigs. We are now up to 37 pigs. We are making a pig almost every 4 hours, almost 6 a day. We're well on top of the food situation. We have no worries there whatsoever. The cleanliness will obviously go up to 100% when the simulation ticks. In terms of money, we're going in the right direction for sure. Again, yesterday, a contract income, we made a $500 profit. That includes the wages we paid overnight for weeding. On the subject of weeding, it's still puzzling me a little bit. All of the fields had an outbreak of weeds at the same time, and we dealt with them with a weeder, apart from this strip along the edge of this field, which had got its weeds early somehow. And by the time I came to weed the rest of the fields, these are already bad weeds and needed spraying, which wasn't going to happen because of the cost. So we're all here, we're all sorted. I'm going to rinse and repeat basically what we've done in this video, do it again, and I'll see you very soon. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. I hope you're enjoying your farms. Let me know how you're getting on with your farms too. What are you finding interesting? What are you getting on with? So leave us a like, leave us a dislike, leave us a comment, subscribe if you want to stay in touch, and click the notification bell if you want to know when the next video goes up. So from Ravenport for now, goodbye.